Hey team, how we doing? This is Barry. I wanted to give some training tips for some of my jiu-jitsu guys. It's hard to train jiu-jitsu when you don't have someone to train with. So my thinking is during this time period where you really don't have someone to actively train with, I want to work on your strengthening. Anyone who tells you that strength's not involved in jiu-jitsu, I don't know where they've been, I don't know who they rolled with. Because jiu-jitsu is about leverage. It is about technique, but it's primarily about leverage, pressure, and some degree of strength. I'm 65 now, but 10 years ago, I could do a lot more on the mat before my joints really began to get painful. And 10 years ago, I remember rolling with Pedro Carvalho. He was my original jiu-jitsu teacher. And what he said was, Barry, and I was like 55 then, he said, Barry, every time I go with you, I feel like I'm rolling with a bear, because you're just so strong. So I thought I would share with you guys some techniques that you can do to increase your jiu-jitsu strength without having to go to the gyms, which you can't go to. And the techniques come from a very, very old book called Be Fit as a Marine. This was written I think 1963 or something. And if I show you the pictures of the guys, they're wearing he's wearing some really strange shorts and stuff. I mean, this is really an old book. But the techniques came from here, and the techniques came from building isometric strength. So we can come around here a little bit so you get a good view of this. I'm going to give you some of the exercises that I did that helped develop the strength that Pedro said was like wrestling with a bear. And these are going to be isometric exercises. And I want you to start with just 30 seconds. And so, for example, all you need for this one here is an opening where there's a door. I've got my hands about that far apart. And for 30 seconds, I'm going to push with my hands, contracting my chest, my arms, and I'm just going to push as hard as I can, like I'm trying to crush this door jamb. And you'll feel this through your chest, your arms, your biceps, and to a certain degree, a little bit of your triceps. And this is working your whole arms and upper bodies. After 30 seconds of that, turn into your door jamb. You're going to be here. I want you to bend your knees a little bit to put some pressure on your knees. Your hips come forward a little bit to lock all this pressure on your thighs. And now what I'm going to do 30 seconds of just pushing as hard as I can here, which will work your triceps, your delts, and a little bit of your upper back and shoulders. Another one that I would do, I would get like a pillow or something soft for your head, and I would literally get into here, and my neck would be bowed, and I'd be pushing almost like a billy goat as hard as I possibly could for 30 seconds and just to hold that pressure. A way to work the legs would be to lean against the door, get your leg up as far as you possibly can, and again, I'm going to push 30 seconds as hard as I can. You'll feel it all working your legs and even down to your calves. The last three exercises I would do were for my arms. I would start first off with, when you're doing isometrics, you're only working on the muscle strength where you're positioned at. And from in here, I would just push down as hard as I possibly could from this position. Your arms will you'll feel it through here in your shoulder, your biceps, and I'm pushing down, and then I would do that for 30 seconds. I would then lower it about halfway down, do another 30 seconds, and then lastly, I would bring it all the way down to the last 30 seconds where it was pretty straight. So I'd work like a minute and a half on each arm. Here, here, and then here. And then finally, I would come into here and push for like a solid 30 seconds, pushing as hard as I could, palm against palm. These were the exercises I did to develop a lot of strength for jiu-jitsu. Hope this helps. We'll have another video out to you probably by Friday. Take care, guys.